5 surgeons, former college colleagues after some years of practice, meet at a symposium. In the evening, they go for a beer together and start talking about their jobs. The first says, "I, on the operating table, like accountants. When you open them, everything inside is counted. Everything is ordered." Second, "I prefer electricians. When you open them, everything is color-coded. You can't get confused." The third says, "I like librarians. Inside them, all the organs are placed in alphabetical order. It's easy to work with." Fourth, he also gets involved. "I like the ones from the construction industry. You can easily get along with them if there are some extra pieces left." Fifth, he also gives his opinion. "Whatever you say, boys, I like politicians. They are the easiest to operate. These, when you open them, have nothing inside. No entrails, no brains, no backbones. And what's more, they have a head and a bottom, interchangeable parts. In whatever order you put them, they work the same." A couple is expecting a child and asks the doctor how it is with sex during this period. The doctor explains, "In the first third of pregnancy, you can have normal sexual contact. In the second third, only from behind like a dog, and in the last third, like a wolf." The husband, a little annoyed, "Like the wolf?" To which the doctor, "Yes, you stand next to the hole and howl at the moon." A woman goes to the doctor with a swollen nose. The doctor asks her, "B? Yes. Did it get on your nose? Yes. Did it sting you?" "She didn't have time, because my husband hit her with the shovel." An American psychiatrist had a group of 4 mothers in therapy. "You all have obsessions," he observed. To the first mother, "You are obsessed with food. You baptized your daughter Candy." To the second, "Your obsession is to have money. Your baby's name is Penny." To the third, "Your obsession is alcohol. This manifests in your child's name, Brandy." At this point, the mother of the 4th child gets up irritated, takes her child by the hand and says, "Come on, Dickon, we're leaving." Anatomy class at the Faculty of Medicine. Teacher. The first quality of a future doctor is that he should not feel nauseous. Look, and he puts a finger in the bottom of the corpse, then he puts it in his mouth. After which he asks, "Who does like me?" A student comes, sticks his finger in the bottom of the corpse, and then puts it in his mouth. Teacher. The second quality of a future doctor must be the spirit of observation. I put one finger in the bottom of the corpse and another in the mouth. A guy and a girl meet in a bar. They look at each other, like each other, and reach the girl at home. After a few drinks, the guy takes off his shirt and washes his hands, then takes off his pants and washes his hands again. "You are definitely a dentist. How did you figure that out?" "As you undressed and washed your hands every time. After people make love," she says, "Not only are you a dentist, but I'm sure you're a great dentist." "Extraordinary. I'm really a successful dentist," says the guy, impressed by the girl's insight. "But how did you manage to figure that out?" "I didn't feel anything." "Why did you run out of the operating room before being operated on?" "Because the nurse kept saying, 'Courage, don't be afraid, it's an easy operation.'" "So, didn't that calm you down?" "No, because he was talking to the surgeon." A guy goes to the doctor. The patient. "Doctor, I have a problem with going to the toilet. In the morning at 5 o'clock, I do the big job." Doctor. "But this is very good." The patient. "The problem is that I wake up at 6. A dentist noticed that his next patient, an old woman, seemed a little scared, so he decided to tell her a joke while putting on his gloves. "Do you know how these gloves are made?" "No," she replied. "Well, in Canada, in a factory, they have a tank full of latex, and the workers come and dip their hands in it. Of course, there is one worker for each size. Then they wait for it to dry and take off the gloves thus formed and put them in the box corresponding to the size." The old woman did not even smile. "I tried," the dentist said to himself. About 5 minutes later, during a delicate procedure, the old woman suddenly burst out laughing. "What's so funny?" "I was imagining how they make condoms," answered the old lady. A woman rushes into a gynecological office and says to the doctor, "Doctor, I came to have my pair of panties. You know, yesterday at the consultation, I think I forgot them here." The very surprised doctor, "Madam, I didn't find anything like that in the cabinet." "Sure?" "I am very sure. You haven't forgotten anything here." The woman goes to the door and says, "I'm sorry, it means I forgot them at the dentist." A doctor from a village had only one prescription for any disease. No matter what ailed you, he would write you the famous recipe for roundworms. The world was already having fun on this topic when one day John appeared at the dispensary with a broken hand. The neighbors jokingly told him, "Let's see, will he give you that prescription for the fracture?" Enter John to the doctor. As he sees it, the doctor cuts him short. "Sit down, and I'll write you the recipe. You're nervous." "How the hell I have limbs, sir? I have a broken hand." "Yes, but how did you break it?" "I climbed the tree to cut some dried fruit and fell." "Well, see, climbing the tree ate you in the ass, so you have roundworms." In an insane asylum, the doctor enters the insane asylum and draws a door on the wall. The madmen look curiously at the wall, after which the doctor says, "Boys, open the door!" All the crazies jumped up and started pulling at the wall one after another. A single madman sat on the bed without any interest. The amazed doctor asks him, "Why don't you want to open the door?" "Well, I have the key."
Two neighbors meet on the stairwell. "What about you, dear? Are you sick?" "No, why do you ask?" "I saw the doctor coming out of your apartment this morning." "And what? When 3 soldiers came out of you, I asked you if the war broke out?"
A girl goes to a plastic surgeon. "Doctor, I lost my ears in an accident. Please help me." "No problem. I'll fit you a pair of ears from a blonde. Do you mind?" "No, I don't think so. They are all ears." A month passes, after which the woman returns to the office disoriented. The doctor asks her in surprise, "What happened? Can't you hear well?" "Yes. I can hear perfectly, but I don't understand anything." The doctor asks the patient, "How are you sleeping?" Pretty good lately. Count to 3 and fall asleep." "Only until 3? Okay, sometimes until 3:15. "Doctor, I think I have problems with my eyes." "Why do you think that, sir?" "Well, since I got married, I don't see a single penny around the house." In an emergency room, a patient presents himself. The doctor, "What happened? Why did you burn your left ear?" The patient, "Well, let's see. I was ironing a shirt and suddenly the phone rang. By mistake, I put the iron to my ear instead of the phone." The doctor, "Good. But his right ear was also burnt?" The patient, "Well, I called the ambulance." A lady complains to the doctor that she is not sexually satisfied by her husband. The doctor says, "No problem, ma'am. You are neither the first nor the last. Find a lover." I found doctor. "And?" "Still, I don't feel satisfied." "Well, try with one more." I tried with another one. "So?" "Still, I don't feel satisfied." "Then try with many." "This is what I do, doctor, with many, and I still don't feel satisfied." "Well, we really have a problem. It means you are sick." "Well, that's why I came to you, doctor. Give me a paper saying that I'm sick, so that this bad world doesn't keep saying that I'm a whore." A very attractive woman walks into a general practice with her grandmother. "I came for an examination," the young woman tells the doctor. "All right," says the doctor. "Go behind the curtain and undress." "No, my grandmother is the one who is not feeling well." "I understand," says the doctor. "Madam, please open your mouth and stick out your tongue." An orthopedist performs his 1,000th operation, and his colleagues decide to throw him a surprise party. On top of that, I also make a cake in the shape of a leg, more precisely, a knee. He sees the cake, starts laughing, and says, "I can't wait to see the gynecologist's cake." A good, presentable lady presents herself at a clinic. Here, all kinds of offices: internal medicine, cardiology, dentistry, physiotherapy, gynecology. The lady enters the dental office. undresses to bare skin, and sits with her legs apart on the dental chair. When the doctor sees her, he laughs and tells her in a lost voice, "Excuse me, madam, you have the wrong cabinet." Opposite consult the gynecologist, to which the nonchalant girl says, "You put dentures in, my man, you take them out." A guy desperately enters the office door. "Doctor, doctor, I am desperate. Every night when I go to bed, I have the impression that there is someone under the bed. When I look under the bed, I have the impression that there is someone on the bed. And just like that, on the bed, under the bed, on the bed, under the bed, I'm going crazy." "Sir, we will solve this without any problem in 3 years of meetings. Come 3 times a week. But how much does a session at your place cost?" "Only $100. The guy leaves disappointed. A few months later, the doctor accidentally meets the person in question walking quietly on the street. "Why didn't you come to me to do the treatment? $100 a session? I fixed it for $10. A bartender told me how to get rid of the obsession." "How come a bartender?" "Yes, he gave me the solution. I cut the legs of the bed." A famous plastic surgeon is dining in a select restaurant with a friend. After about 10 minutes, a beautiful lady enters the restaurant. He approaches their table, kisses the surgeon on the cheek, and says, "My dear, you turned me from the ugly little girl into a real princess. Thank you from the heart." After the woman leaves the restaurant, the surprised friend asks the surgeon who the beautiful lady is. "Oh, it's my mother." "Wow, you did a great job. It looks like millions." After a few minutes, another lady, much more beautiful, appears in the restaurant. He approaches their table, kisses the surgeon, and says, "Darling, the facelift and liposuction worked wonders. You made me look 20 years younger. I don't know if I will ever be able to thank you." After this lady also left the restaurant, the surgeon explained to his friend that the said lady was actually his wife. "Dear good, but you are very skilled. She looks like a model." He didn't even get to finish his sentence when the restaurant doors opened, and a gorgeous woman, much more gorgeous than the previous ones, with a body that seemed to be sculpted, approached their table with quick steps. All the eyes in the place were now directed towards that face angel. But to everyone's surprise, the perfect woman slaps the surgeon and says in a raised voice, "You scoundrel! Look what you did to my body! You ruined my life, career! I hope you end up in hell!" Everyone is extremely surprised by the attitude of the beautiful lady, and the surgeon says, "Let's stop talking about it. It was my dad." The doctor comes out of the operating room sweating. He meets another doctor who asks him what happened. The doctor answers, "I had a very difficult operation. The patient, a policeman, had no brain activity. I opened his skull and I couldn't believe my eyes. It was empty, just a thread. For 4 hours I thought about whether to cut the thread or not. Finally, I cut it. And what do you think happened?" "What happened?" "His ears fell off. A man goes to a psychiatrist. 'Doctor, my wife is unfaithful. Every evening he goes to the fisherman's bar and catches men. Even worse, she sleeps with anyone who asks if she wants. I will go crazy. What do you think I should do?' The doctor answers, 'Relax, breathe deeply, and try to calm down. Now tell me, where exactly is this bar?' 'A psychiatrist's office.' The door opens, and a man enters, on all fours, with something in his mouth. Psychiatrist. 'Oh my. Who came to us? A kitten?' The man crawls to the corner of the office. The doctor follows him. 'A puppy?' The man passes the wall with his hand and crawls into the other corner. The doctor does not give up. 'Ah, I think it's a hedgehog. Not? A turtle?' The man takes a cable out of his mouth and says, 'Will you let me run your internet cable or not?' The ophthalmologist advises the patient to do a carrot cure to improve his vision. 'And are you sure that I will see better if I eat carrots?' 'Have you ever seen a rabbit with glasses?' The doctor enters the bedroom, leaving the very agitated husband to wait outside. 2 minutes later, the doctor comes out of the bedroom and asks for a screwdriver. The husband executes himself and the doctor disappears into the bedroom again. After a while, he comes out again, this time asking for a hammer and a chisel. The husband runs downstairs and comes back with a hammer and a chisel. Now the poor man was in a terrible state of agitation. The doctor re-enters the bedroom, reappears after about 5 minutes. "I'm sorry," he says. "I'm afraid I need a crowbar." "A rake?" The guy with the choked voice? What's wrong with him? Tell me too. "I had no way to find out," said the doctor. "I've been trying to open the medical kit for half an hour." A 90-year-old man tells his doctor, "I have never felt so good. I have an 18-year-old bride with whom I will have a child. How about this?" The doctor thinks about his question for a minute and then says, "I have an older friend who is a hunter and never misses any season. One day when he was in a hurry, he took the umbrella instead of the gun. When he arrived at the hunting place, he saw a rabbit sitting by a river. He raised his umbrella, went, bang, bang, and the rabbit fell dead to the ground. What do you say about this?" The old man answers, "I would say that someone else shot his rabbit." The doctor, "Exactly." At the gynecologist, a scared lady, "Doctor, damn it, I played with the vibrator and it stayed inside. What should I do?" "Please lie down here." The woman lies down. The doctor consults her a little, then says, "Miss, I have 2 news for you, one good and one bad. Which one should I start with?" "Start with the worst," says the frightened woman. "The bad news is that I didn't manage to get the vibrator out of you. And the good news? I managed to change the battery."